Doesn't mean that Hillary would have been a good choice either. She was a terrible choice. She's a corrupt politician, one of the most unlikable people that's ever run for office. They were trying to get people to be supporting her just because she's a woman. This is going to be her history. Women, ladies, I stand with her. So there's all these women that have this blind allegiance towards this career politician, completely full of shit. She's been full of shit forever. But meanwhile, just a puppet of banks, and those people make shit piles of money from speeches, and there's major problems with the Clinton Foundation. It's not even around anymore. It's a dark legion. And meanwhile, she's doing all this Me Too talk. Her husband's a goddamn predator.
Yeah.
He's been a predator forever.
Yeah.
She said that Monica Lewinsky was a grown woman and it wasn't an abuse of power. Get the fuck out of here.
How old is Monica?
She was
Hillary Clinton thought she could rewrite her political story, but Joe Rogan came swinging with a verbal wrecking ball and zero tolerance for history makeovers. From an email drama to her blame everyone but me tour, Rogan didn't just expose the cracks. He blew the whole narrative wide open. This wasn't just a roast, it was a full-scale teardown. Brutal, quick-witted, and unrelenting. His takedown cut through the spin like a hot mic during a live gaffe. Hillary came looking for applause. Instead, she got Rogan, loaded with receipts and ready to burn.
He is, and he's actually still kind of good looking. Like, even for an older dude. Yeah, why not? He's still so good looking, and she's just so miserable.
She was publicly humiliated, and she thought that her big retribution would become president.
I'm running for president, and I'm in it to win it.
You know, become president.
Sure.
And then that would be it. All water under the bridge. I'm a strong woman. I'm running this country. And then America was...
Hillary somehow glides through political firestorms like she's making a grand entrance. Heels clicking, smile locked in place, with a confetti trail of deleted emails behind her. Rogan doesn't simply mock her. He dismantles her entire political persona with surgical sarcasm. And make no mistake, this isn't some careful critique. It's a wrecking job on a political performance that's been running for decades, starring the same lead who keeps flubbing her lines but still expects a standing ovation.
Infuriated when people that I knew that I was friends with were trying to tell me that Hillary Clinton was a good choice. And that's the same choice. I'm like, look, I don't know if she's murdered people, but I know that I worry that she's murdered people. That's a real... I really wonder. Like, this Seth Rich...
I know. First of all, just leave. You don't even need to go there. You don't.
There's so many other things.
There's so many other things that we know for a fact.
The Clinton Foundation, for instance.
So, the Iraq...
If you're digging this takedown, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that bell so you don't miss what's next. Now back to Rogan, who goes straight for Hillary's endless reinventions. She's rebranded more times than a failed startup desperate for relevance. One day, she's championing women's rights. The next, cashing checks from regimes where women barely have any. Somehow, she manages to be a feminist hero and a walking contradiction in one breath. If hypocrisy had a resume, she'd be the top endorsement, co-signed by irony and confusion.
Yeah, she really did say that.
Yeah, she really did say that after she just got done Gaddafi and then laughed about it.
We came, we saw, he died.
We came, we saw, he died. The fact that any human being would ever do that. By the way he died, that's some dark...
Rogan doesn't shy away from the bigger picture. That Hillary's political career was one long audition for a part the audience never wanted her to play. It's like America watched the pilot, hated it, canceled the series. But she still kept showing up like she won an Emmy. Her refusal to change the script, despite repeated rejections, is either loyalty to her act or full-blown denial. Probably both. Definitely both.
The thing was, he was packing stadiums.
Yeah.
She couldn't even fill a fucking high school gymnasium.
Right. She was pulling all the strings, and she had all the favors that she was pulling in, and she had a shit ton of money behind her, and they were completely arrogant, and all the liberal elite in the media thought there was no chance that she was going to lose. She's 95% shoe-in to win the presidency, and she walked around like she was 95%.
She already thought she won.
Yeah.
And then there's the email scandal, the never-ending headline. Hillary treated a government server like her personal Pinterest board. Rogan dives in, turning it into stand-up material that practically writes itself. She claimed it was for convenience, but what she got was a monument to terrible judgment. Somewhere out there, a scammer is still jealous of her email setup. Through it all, she positioned herself as the victim, like she was starring in an indie drama titled Accountability, is misogyny.
Forever. If you watch the conversation between James Comey, when James Comey testified about what he did and what they found with the Hillary Clinton emails, and then her version of it, she's just a straight liar.
Yeah.
She deleted 33,000 emails.
How the do you do that? And then
even worse than that, when they rigged the DNC, they rigged the primaries so that Bernie Sanders was going to lose. She had her people into the DNC.
That was crazy.
Now let's talk Clinton Foundation, the family side hustle that's part charity, part influence machine, and full mystery box. Money rolls in, influence leaks out, and no one can quite explain the in-between. Their tax forms probably need both a translator and an exorcist. Rogan lays it bare. This isn't charity, it's PR with a donation link. Fast forward to the 2016 election, the most expensive faceplant in political history. Hillary had it all. Media, megadonors, ex-presidents, A-list celebs, even literal confetti. Still lost. Joe waltzes through the absurdity of a billion-dollar campaign that felt less human than a vending machine. From shady real estate deals to paid speeches to Wall Street, she always wore the same look, stunned, confused, and rehearsed, like a soap character realizing they were the villain all along.
One of my favorite clips is Hillary Clinton when she was running 2012. She was more MAGA than MAGA.
So I think we got to have tough conditions. Tell people to come out of the shadows. If they've committed a crime, deport them. No questions asked. They're gone. If they've been working and are law-abiding, we should say, here are the conditions for you staying. You have to pay a stiff fine because you came here illegally. You have to pay back taxes. And you have to try to learn English. And you have to wait in line.
You have to wait in line. That's so mad.
Rogan doesn't skip Benghazi, the diplomatic disaster turned symbol of incompetence. It wasn't just a tragedy. It was the political gymnastics to dodge any blame. Hillary handled accountability like a dodgeball pro, and she was the target. Joe highlights how her defense playbook was deny, distract, and deflect, followed by a book deal blaming everyone else. Speaking of books, her memoir post, 2016, is basically a one-woman therapy session where she blames Comey, the press, sexism, anyone but herself. Rogan breaks it down like fanfiction, where Hillary is the misunderstood genius in her own drama. Her speeches? Less inspiring, more mechanical. Like she's reading off an instruction manual for disappointment.
I was getting shot at. It's like, I can't imagine, I was just talking about lack of empathy. I can't imagine being in a situation where I'm on television and I'm saying things that are so removed from the truth.
Right.
Like, I can't wrap my head around that.
Well, Hillary did the same thing.
Well, she's a congenital liar, as she was referred to by the New York Times back in the day. But,
and rightly so, but people forget this. She did talk about a firefight that she was involved in.
I was under sniper fire, and the worst thing about that people didn't give a shit about, she said when she was in Bosnia, she was under sniper fire. It's like, wait a minute, you're throwing the Secret Service under the bus. Because what kind of...
And let's not forget her tech illiteracy. Extra scary when you realize she once oversaw national cyber policy. Watching Hillary handle tech is like watching your grandma try to live stream. Buttons, confusion, and where'd the email go vibes. She once asked if wiping a server meant using a cloth. That's not a punchline. That's a national security punch to the gut. Then there's her self-declared status as the symbol of progress. She acts like she invented feminism, equality, and political finesse. Meanwhile, her record is littered with contradictions and convenient flip-flops. Joe doesn't miss a beat, pointing out how she weaponized her marriage when useful, defended it when indefensible, and spun the narrative like a romance novel ghostwritten by denial. The Clintons weren't just a couple, they were a brand. A messy, scandal-prone brand with more spin than a dryer in an earthquake. Hillary has turned failure into branding, each disaster repackaged as brilliance. She can play the victim and the savior in the same sentence, all while keeping eye contact with both a lobbyist and a camera lens.
And she just basically did a double talk around that. But she's got a lot of whoppers in her name. She said she was named after Edmund Hillary, even though he climbed Mount Everest after she was born. So she's amazing. I love that woman. I love her so much. She's the funniest person on earth.
She's a scary lady.
She's like a slinky. She's always falling down the stairs.
Ah!
Yeah, she's the human slinky.
How dare you?
Yeah.
She's it's an odd duck. It's one of those things where women want a woman to be president so bad. They want one for the team so bad. And then there's so many people from the left that think she has the best chance.
Then there's her social media game, which is less relatable millennial and more in turn trying too hard with a thesaurus. Rogan doesn't hold back. Hillary tweeting is like watching a slow motion crash into outdated lingo. Every post screams, "I'm still relevant," but reads like a PDA newsletter dressed up as woke culture. Her hashtags are forced, her memes expired, and her GIFs look like they were ripped from a 2012 time capsule. Rogan closes with Hillary's superpower, inserting herself into every conversation, whether she's invited or not. She's like the unskippable ad of American politics. Always there, always smiling, always promoting herself as the answer to problems she helped create. Whether it's 2024, 2028, or the end of civilization, Hillary will find Mike, tilt her head, and insist she saw it coming. She's the ghost of failed campaigns past, floating through cable news and college tours like a PR poltergeist. And don't worry, this roast isn't over. The Hillary saga still has plenty of punchlines left.
One of the things I always point out, like, people want to talk progressive. You want to talk, being left wing, and she didn't even believe in gay marriage until 2013.
The best part was she was on NPR, which is this far right fringe organization, right? NPR, Terry Gross. And Terry Gross says, you used to be against gay marriage. Your husband passed DOMA, which made it a federal law that gay marriage won't be recognized by the federal government. And you changed your position. Like, how did that happen? Was it because Americans became... Hillary's like, well, America changed their point of view. She goes, no, I understand Americans changed their point of view. What was your mental process? And she goes, no, Terry, you're saying that I changed my mind for political purposes, and that's not true. And she starts yelling at her, and it's like, holy shit, you're on NPR and you think they're too right-wing for you because they're calling you out on your bullshit, you fucking loon.
And just when you thought it couldn't get more surreal, enter her post, 2016 Remix Tour, the political version of cosplay. One day she's podcasting, next day teaching leadership, and somewhere in there, she's channeling the oracle of democracy. It's like bombing a test and then applying to teach the course. Hillary is hell-bent on rewriting history with glitter and fairy dust, as if we all have the memory span of a squirrel on caffeine. Rogan didn't even have to break a sweat. He saw through the rebrand instantly. While Hillary tried to sell herself as the ultimate comeback queen, Joe spotted the circus miles away. And then there's the jaw-dropping irony of her painting herself as democracy's last hope after losing to the political equivalent of your loud uncle at Thanksgiving.
Hillary Clinton has a very weird and I think shitty marriage. I don't think she has a husband who is in love with her or faithful to her. And I think I can't really blame him because she seems to have accepted this behavior since the inception of their marriage. And so past this prologue, you're going to get what you tolerate. What you permit, you promote. She spent all of her daughter's upbringing away at work.
But Rogan's takedown wasn't just about failure. It was about how tone-deaf the comeback really was. It was like watching Titanic sink again, except this time the captain blames a Russian iceberg. She returned not wiser or more grounded, but somehow even louder, like a guest who crashes awake and starts karaoke. The icing on the cake? Her obsession with staying relevant. For someone who lost, she sure loves reminding people how close she was. She's got more takes than victories, and each one ages like unrefrigerated milk. While other politicians either adapt or fake growth, Hillary's still stuck on the greatest hits from her greatest flops. So when Rogan finally dropped his verbal bomb, no theatrics were needed. The facts were funny enough. Her contradictions wrote their own script. Hillary's public persona has become the group project where one person claims they did everything. And just like that, the Clinton reboot hit a hard crash. No restart, no fix. Just the blue screen of political death. And oh yes, this is just the beginning. But Rogan's takedown wasn't just about failure. It was about how tone-deaf the comeback really was. It was like watching Titanic sink again, except this time the captain blames a Russian iceberg. She returned not wiser or more grounded, but somehow even louder, like a guest who crashes awake and starts karaoke. The icing on the cake? Her obsession with staying relevant. For someone who lost, she sure loves reminding people how close she was. She's got more takes than victories, and each one ages like unrefrigerated milk. While other politicians either adapt or fake growth, Hillary's still stuck on the greatest hits from her greatest flops. So when Rogan finally dropped his verbal bomb, no theatrics were needed. The facts were funny enough. Her contradictions wrote their own script. Hillary's public persona has become the group project where one person claims they did everything. And just like that, the Clinton reboot hit a hard crash. No restart, no fix. Just the blue screen of political death.